Welcome back, 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. I want to start off today with a couple pieces of news in the Goki Garage, the virtual art room. The first one may not seem like a big deal, but it is to me. I have gone horizontal. If you noticed in the last couple of videos when I'm seated at my stool here, I was vertical, but that's a total noob move for a YouTuber to be vertical because it opens up strange on your phone and on your computer. So I'm in it now, horizontally. My second piece of news is actually a new guest I want to share with you. Well, is it really a guest? I guess in these times, you might be able to consider it a guest. I'm going to let you decide. I'd like you to be reintroduced to dun-dun-dun-dun. Here we go. The Goki Gong is back. So as we started most classes at school, I'm going to start off this by striking the gong. Doesn't that feel better? I felt pretty empty without it. I was able to go to both of my schools last week, and this is one of the most important things that I picked up from my room, along with some art prints and other art materials. I'm going to pull this up and get it out of the way. For your assignment for the week, 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, I took inspiration from the springtime and nature. In fact, I was planning a project for the lower elementary students, and they're going to be working on a tree drawing. And then I decided for you guys, we need to take it next level. We've done some trees before. We've done some trees where we started off and I talked about how the tree has the basic shape of the letter Y. If you follow the trunk, it usually branches out to the left and out to the right as a letter Y. Now this is a rather gnarly looking tree. It's kind of bending in a lot of different ways, but you can still find the Y shape. So I'm going to go over in the next part of the video how to draw a tree, but what you're going to do to take it next level is you are going to design your own custom treehouse. The treehouse that you have always dreamed of. It can be equipped with whatever you think needs to be in your dream treehouse. I found a little print here in my box of prints that I grabbed from my classroom. This is a small painting by Beverly Buchanan, and it just has some primitively painted houses, and they kind of look like tree houses to me. Almost look like something that a student may have drawn. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to combine these two concepts. It's like taking architecture and combining it with nature, and your house is going to be up in your tree. So that'll give you a little bit of an idea of the direction we are heading in. Please stay tuned for the next part of the video. And I can't resist one more time. I'm gonna show you some images of tree houses that I found on Pinterest. This is an assignment which, although I think is super cool, I didn't come up with it myself. I get a lot of help online. This first one is done by a professional artist. So this is not what I expect your work to look like, but I just thought it was super cool. It's got 4 very realistic looking houses up in a tree. And it's fully painted and a lot of great colors. Just wanted you to see that. Here's another one which might be by a student who's a little older than you guys. And in both of these examples, the homes are 3-dimensional. I'm going to show you how you might attempt that, but I realize that's very challenging, but I'll give you the option. This one is probably by a student closer to your age. I'm not sure exactly. It is 3-dimensional, so it's still more advanced, as well as this one. And these here, which I'm going to zoom in on, are going to be of a more basic level, but very cool and absolutely acceptable. These, the houses, it's a basic front view of the house. You're not seeing a side view. They're not trying to make it look 3D, except maybe in that top right one, but at the same time, they came out awesome. All right, moving on. Here's one that I drew, and on this one, I did add a lot of details and even some shading and whatnot, but I did not do a three-dimensional looking house. It's pretty much a straight-on view, kind of like a square with a rectangle on top. Probably how you drew a house when you were kindergartner, first grader, second grader, but obviously I added some more details here. So on this one, I wanted to show you some examples on architecturally what things you can add. Basically, I have a platform that is circular going around my tree trunk. I have a ladder on the right side, then the ladder is going up to the middle, to the opening of the doorway in my house. I've got a couple windows. I've got a balcony over here. It says Casa Goki. Hey, you know, it's Cinco de Mayo, so I thought I'd add the casa in there. Put a flag, and I put a telescope because I thought, how cool would that be to view the stars from my treehouse. This one right here I started, and this one has more of a three-dimensional view. Don't get intimidated. I am not going to require a three-dimensional treehouse. I just want to give those kids who want to try it the option. You can see that it shows the bottom of the house, and that's because generally when you're looking at a treehouse, you're going to be looking up at it if you're on the ground. All right, I want to show you some reminders about drawing a tree first of all, and then I'll talk about the house. You're welcome to show the ground, but you don't have to. You can have just sort of a giant trunk coming up from the bottom of the paper. And then we've talked about in class how a tree is basically like a Y shape. So I'll just sketch in a little Y here. But I'm not going to leave that line. I'm going to erase it eventually. A tree is a Y shape. It branches out to the right and to the left, and it's got a main trunk. I want my main trunk to be nice and thick. I also want the first couple branches to be really, really thick. But I'm still going to draw, or I should say I'm going to draw kind of dark, but when you do this, you should draw yours rather lightly because you're probably going to have to erase some of it to put in your house. So here you go. I've got a Y shape, and of course I'm going to add more branches to make it look more like a tree, but that's just to prove that a tree is shaped like the letter Y. Then I can go in and add smaller branches. And your branches should come right off the paper. And then the branches can start getting smaller and smaller. And they don't have to be straight. They can be kind of curvy. Because that's how they are in nature. They are natural lines that are formed in the treetop. Some branches can come down like so. All right, so if you were going to add a straightforward view of a house in here, good place to put it is right in the middle. And go simple. So I'm going to just do a big rectangle here. And I'm using a ruler. I didn't on those sketches. You're welcome to use a ruler or not. I think I'm going to have a little issue here with erasing. But I'll just lighten these branches up on the inside here so you can get the idea of where the house is, where the branches stop. Because to get that illusion that the house is up in the tree and that the branches are growing through it, you want to make sure you can't see the initial branches that you drew. So there's the base front side of my house. I'm just going to put a triangle here on the top. I won't even use a ruler there. Just quickly pencil it in. And starting to look like a house. If I put a couple windows on here and a door, we're getting there. That is the basic way to start this with a simple, non-three-dimensional view of the house. If you want to go three-dimensional, I'll show you how to do that. This is a little trickier, something more likely that a 5th grader would try, but 3rd and 4th graders, go for it if you want to. I'm going to draw the bottom first, and I'm going to start off with 2 lines that are parallel. Then I'm going to do 2 diagonal lines that are parallel. So I end up with pretty much a parallelogram. Remember, this is the bottom of the house. Then I'm going to make a line going up and a line going up over here. And I'm going to turn that into a square. That could be the front of my house. I'm going to do a line going up over here. And then I need to join these 2 corners, but I'm going to use a diagonal line, because this side, or this top wall, should be parallel to this one. And then adding a triangle to the top of this, I will admit, is pretty tricky. It's almost like the center of it is a little bit to the right. So I add a triangle on this side, and then I'm going to make a line that is parallel with the top here. And then another tricky part, this line right here should be parallel to that one. So if I've totally lost you here, just sit back and enjoy it and don't worry about doing it. I'm going to make the bottom of the tree trunk look like it's growing up from the through the bottom of the house. So I did a semicircle there, and I got my huge trunk. And then I'm going to have branches coming up from behind. So that's more three-dimensional. I'm hoping a lot of you will really get into this and add a ton of details. I'll just go back to my first one where I had the most details to give you a couple of reminders. Lines inside the interior shapes of the house are a great idea because that's going to make it look like it's built out of wood planks. Decks and other sorts of platforms and ladders are a great thing to add. And like I said, I put a flag and a telescope, but I'm imagining that if you had your own dream house, it would look different than mine. Maybe it's going to have some sort of a gaming room that you can see on the inside. Maybe it's going to have a swimming pool or a hot tub on the roof. Who knows? The world is your oyster. Do your best, try hard, have fun, and I can't wait to see the results. Thank you very much.